All right, so let's talk about keys for success for Tennessee quarterback Nico Iamaleava against Arkansas's defense. I know you're probably a 2 touchdown favorite, depending on when you're watching this video going into the game, but you still want to take this team very seriously. It's going to be the second best defense that you face. So let's talk about Nico. But before we talk about Nico, let's talk about Arkansas's defense. And we are going to look at some film broadcast footage, so I have to slow it down. I do apologize about that, but we're going to look at some film of Arkansas's defense and Nico to kind of help demonstrate what the points that we are trying to get across. So Arkansas's defense, their main theme so far this season has been try to keep everything in front. They don't want big plays to happen. They want the quarterback to be confused and make a mistake and throw picks. And they've done a decent job forcing turnovers, forcing interceptions. Arkansas's defense has played pretty well overall for the most part for Arkansas this year. Their losses haven't been on them, right? So with that said, let's go through the past 4 games for Arkansas's defense, because they want to get pressure, but they haven't had much success getting pressure. But like I said, they've forced turnovers and they've kept everything in front. They've eliminated, or they've prevented big plays for the most part through the air. Okay, so with that said, Arkansas's defense only 5 total pressures against Oklahoma State, no sacks. They blitzed 26% of the time. UAB, they had 17 pressures, 1 sack, 1 pick. They blitzed 40-ish% of the time. Against Auburn, 12 pressures, 2 sacks, and they did have 4 interceptions against Auburn. So they were able to create a lot of turnover there. And then against A&M, no turnovers. They blitzed 48% of the time. Again, they're trying to get pressure, but they only got pressure 10 total times of the drop back from the quarterback. They did have 2 sacks. So they want to get pressure, but they just haven't been able to yet. But they've done a good job forcing turnovers, right? So that's Arkansas's defense. We're going to look at a few clips here in a second of Arkansas's defense. But if you're Nico, what are the keys against this defense, who, again, is a good defense? Not great per se, and not as good as your defense. But what are the keys for success against Arkansas on the road, right? Your second start against a SEC opponent on the road. Key number 1, I think, is be you. You don't need to do anything else. Your defense is legit. You have a great surrounding cast around you. Like, you don't need to be Superman. You're not going toe to toe against an Alabama or Georgia where you may have to make some crazy plays to win. Right? Now, I could be wrong, and maybe you get in a dogfight and you got to make some really big plays. But I think key number 1 is just be you. Let your team around you, your supporting cast, help. Your defense is legit. Your team is legit. Key number 2, I think just being simple and avoiding turnovers is probably Nico's next step in development. Against NC State, he had 2 picks. Against Oklahoma, he had 2 fumbles, right? Now, against better teams, they're going to make you pay. Is Arkansas going to make you pay? I don't know. They haven't shown the ability to do that so far, but they definitely could. They definitely do have athletes. They definitely do have some talent, right? So you want to avoid turnovers. Let Arkansas's quarterback be the one leading the turnovers. He's turnover prone, but a very good athlete. If he doesn't turn the ball over and you could be in a situation in the fourth quarter where you got to make some plays. So key number 2, avoid the turnovers. Key number 3, quick, decisive throws. I think those are always good to get comfortable, especially on the road. And then key number 4, use play action to set up the deep ball. All of Nico's touchdowns, about 1, I think he has 7 passing touchdowns. So 6 of his passing touchdowns have come off play action. His yards per attempt off play action are 11.6 compared to 6.9, where it's not off play action, it's a straight drop back. So utilize play action to set up the deep ball and take some deep shots against Arkansas's defense. But Arkansas's defense has not allowed a lot of deep balls. They haven't allowed a lot of explosive plays through the air. Doesn't mean you can't do it. They just haven't allowed a lot yet. So that'll be interesting to see how that sets up, right? So just to recap, Nico, before we look at this film, be you. Don't need to do anything else. Just be you. Your team around you is legit. Avoid the turnovers. That's huge. Quick, decisive throws to get started, to get settled in. And then key number 4, use the play action to push the ball downfield to take some deep shots. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and look at Arkansas's defense, look at a few clips from Arkansas's defense. Again, broadcast footage, I got to slow it down. I do apologize, but it does a good job just showcasing what they could potentially show against Tennessee. And I could be totally wrong, right? But it does a good job showing what they've done so far. And then we'll look at a few clips of Nico and showing the type of throws that I think he can have success and that we want to see against Arkansas's defense. And we do a lot of SEC quarterback content on a weekly basis. If you like SEC quarterbacks or SEC in general, please consider following the channel and subscribing along. So with that said, let's go ahead and look at some of the film and we'll wrap this up. So we're going to look at 4 clips. The first 2 clips are going to be Arkansas's defense, showing 2 different types of defenses that they have thrown in the past that they may throw at Tennessee. Both these defenses both these videos are interceptions from Arkansas. Then we'll watch 2 clips of Nico that demonstrate the type of throws we talked about in the beginning of the video. So this clip here, pre-snap, you're thinking it's 2 potential different coverages. At least if I'm the quarterback, I'm thinking, okay, field side is some type of zone, and then boundary side looks like it's man. Ends up being cover 1, one's up top safety, man under, and it leads to an interception. The second pick we're going to watch is a zone type defense that leads to a pick. So just an example of Arkansas showing 2 different types of defenses that leads to an interception. Let me reverse that real quick. So we're going to see Arkansas looks like they're going to bring 6. They look like they're going to bring these guys here. They drop 1 back into coverage, drop 1 guy into coverage, and then leads to an interception here. But it's cover 1, man under. Again, boundary side, they were more press. Field side, they are more off coverage. Some defenses are different, but just trying to confuse the quarterback. It's not a bad decision there. He actually has a step on him, just ends up being a bad throw, and that's a throw Nico wouldn't miss, and we'll look at a throw later. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch one more clip of Arkansas's defense. This is another interception off Hank Brown, who threw 3 of these to Arkansas's defense, and then Peyton throwing through 1. Let me go ahead and move me over here. And so now we're looking at a zone defense. So here we got boundary side here bringing a receiver in motion, and then we're going to see zone to the boundary side, confuses Hank Brown. Confuses Hank Brown, leads to an interception here. Right, so you can notice it's zoned by the simple fact he's looking at the quarterback. He's got inside technique, so he's in this zone. We're going to see, I believe this backer recovers, but we got backer here recovering. Notice he's sitting in his zone here, right? He's not trying to chase him man as an up top safety, and then leads to an interception. So first 2 clips we watch, or I guess only 2 clips we watch, are 2 interceptions of Arkansas, 1 being man defense or cover 1 man under, the second being a zone defense. And of course, this is 2 clips. There's a lot more examples of Arkansas doing different things, but for the sake of the video, we're just showing a few clips of some Arkansas has done well. Again, they haven't got a ton of pressure. They've won to get pressure, but they've done a good job turning the ball over or getting defensive turnovers, although they didn't get any against A&M. Okay, so real quick, Nico. We talked about the keys, right? And we're going to look at 2 keys here. The first one, getting the ball out quickly and decisively, hitting your guy in stride, being accurate, and letting your guy get some yak yards after he catches it. So going to be a very accurate throw here, almost similar to, almost similar to the throw that Brown missed, but other side of the field. We're going to see Nico hits his guy in stride. His receiver's able to keep going for a big gain here, right? So key number 1, if I'm Nico, decisive, accurate throws, extremely accurate quarterback, be decisive, get rid of the ball quickly. That will help you get settled down, right? Really good throw. This next throw we're going to watch is play action. I think you can take some shots on Arkansas, even though teams haven't done it yet, but Nico's the best quarterback that Arkansas has faced all year, right? So we're going to see play action here. Nico has a shot downfield in the skinny post type bang route, if you will. Very accurate ball, but notice it's off play action. Again, we talked about Nico's 7 touchdowns, and 6 of his 7 touchdowns are off play action. So that's kind of that you can obviously tell it helps Nico get comfortable. So I want to do that. It gets the defense creeping in. What I like about Nico too, side note, is him just scanning the defense, right? So he's looking whether he's trying to look someone off or reading someone, he's still using his eyes to help set up on the receiver, and then has a good shot downfield. So again, off play action, able to take a shot downfield. Again, I think Arkansas's defense is better than probably people realize. They've done a good job forcing the opposing quarterbacks to turn the ball over. They try to get pressure, but they haven't had a ton of pressure per se against at least the teams on their tier as far as talent goes, right? So if you're Nico, you want to take care of the ball, get rid of the ball quickly and decisively early on, and then use play action to set up the deep ball. So if you're a Tennessee fan, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think Nico needs to do to have success against Arkansas's defense? Let me know thoughts, concerns, worries, if any. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And again, we're just a big SEC quarterback hub. We talk all things SEC quarterback. So if you like that type of if you like this type of content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. It helps us grow. Follow us along. We'll see you next time. Peace.